Hello, everybody, and welcome to Versus Live. I am Todd Anderson.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
We got Kyle West over in the booth. So hi, Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
He got it on the first try.
He nailed it. Nailed it.
That took, well, I was going to say a curse word, but I crap you not. That took our other director about 3 months to get, old director Rob.
Nice.
Took about 3 months to get it down.
You're a quick learner, Kyle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are, of course, brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and we are sponsored by Carnox Chairs. Make sure to check out Carnox.com. Check out /SCG. Check out these really sweet chairs that we got behind us. But today we are preparing y'all for SCG Worcester, where we are going to be playing a lot of standard featuring Core Set 2020.
Absolutely. No, it's going to be, we got some good matchups picked out, a lot of interesting decks. It should be a fun one.
Yeah, so first up on the docket, your deck is pretty unique, so I'm just going to let you take the reins on your deck and tell me all about it.
Yeah, so Sultai Reanimator, it is a deck that is trying to get the giant dragon, and what is it called again?
You know, keep talking.
Trying to get a giant dragon. Dracuseth.
Maw of Flames.
Yes, exactly. Get Maw of Flames into the graveyard, bring it back with Bond of Revival, hit them for just an absurd amount of damage.
Yeah, and kill like 2 or 3 creatures at the same time.
Exactly. It deals 4 damage to one target and 3 damage to 2 other individual targets. The card is just absolutely busted.
It's going off.
It's going off. And you still get to use the abusive powers of Tamiyo, Collector of Tales.
Yep.
And still get to do some ramp along with plenty of ways to get the dragon into the graveyard.
Yeah, Chart of Course, and then there's the new 3-drop. The what's the Lich?
Yeah.
Oh,
I cut right to it.
Yeah,
right to it. Tombbound Lich. Being able to loot when it comes into play, as well as when it attacks, you get to loot again with Death Touch and Lifelink. So it's already pretty good stats for a creature.
1/3 start, right? So it's pretty decent blocker. The Death Touch means it's going to trade with most things.
Exactly.
3 toughness means it doesn't die to shock, which is a pretty big deal.
And like a lot of the vampires that are in the format right now, a lot of them have 2 power before, they get pumped with other stuff. So they can still brick a lot of the creatures in the metagame right now while still doing what the deck needs to do. Granted, I do think we're in a bit of a rough matchup here. I think your deck is a good combination and a good way to answer it with being flashy creatures that also have a good amount of counterspells and disruption and stuff like that. So what do you got cooked up today, Todd?
So I have brought Simic Flash. And now for those of you who hear the word Flash, you think, oh, he's just playing an instant speed. He's probably playing Simic Nexus. No, we're playing a bunch of creatures that can be played at instant speed. Namely, there's 3 new creatures from Core Set M20, where actually just make the core of the deck. Can we do a top down? All right, so we'll go one by one. So first up, Brandborn Cutthroat. I think this is going to be one of your better threats early in the game. 2 mana, 2/1 flash. That's not really great stats wise or whatever. It's like fine, but in some scenarios you just play it early and you can trade with a creature, play like a control deck. But whenever I cast
Doomblade early,
whenever I cast a spell on my opponent's turn, Brandborn Cutthroat gets a +1/+1 counter. That means whenever I counterspell an opponent's spell on their turn, it gets +1/+1. Whenever I cast Unsummon, whenever I cast another creature with Flash, it gets another +1/+1 counter. So those counters really start to build up because I play almost all my spells on my opponent's turn.
Exactly.
Spectral Sailor, another cheap creature with Flash that allows me to not only pump Brandborn Cutthroat, but it also can draw cards if I start to flood out. And since I'm using all my mana on my opponent's turn, if they don't do anything, I just draw a card.
Seems like they really wanted that card to be good with this small keyword right there, pirates. Like being able to being able to sneak those cards into the mono blue shell, which is basically what this is, except you're abusing the green for a select amount of cards. But putting pirate in there makes it just so much better.
Yeah, I've seen some iterations of mono blue already switch to Lookout Dispersal because you get Spectral Sailor, Siren Storm Tamer, and Brandborn Cutthroat.
Oh, okay.
And they're playing Lookout Dispersal instead of Wizard's Retort.
Really?
Yeah, because you have 12 pirates now instead if you want to play that version, and you don't play Merfolk Trickster or. Is it Trickster, the 2-drop, 2/2?
Yep, Merfolk Trickster, yep.
So the green cards in the deck, and this is just in the main deck, we have 2 green cards. We got Night Pack, Ambusher, this is the new one. 4 mana, 4/4 with Flash. Other wolves and werewolves get +1/+1. If you have 2 of these in play, they pump each other.
Yeah.
But at the beginning of my end step, if I didn't play a spell on my turn, I get a 2/2 wolf, which effectively means a 3/3 wolf. So as long as I'm playing only on my opponent's turn, I just get a wolf every turn. It starts to play out a lot like Huntmaster of the Fells, if you've ever played against that in Modern.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And it's just this. it doesn't look like it's that good on paper. Like when I first saw the card, I was not impressed with it. The first time I played against it, my opponent crushed me with it, and I thought, "Holy moly, this card's way better than I thought."
I think it's insane. I think it's actually an upgrade for Huntmaster. You know, I mean, in the right kind of deck.
Yeah, sure.
You know, I mean, it definitely has to be in a specific deck where Huntmaster you could just put anywhere and it was going to be an effective threat.
Yeah,
but if you can build around that, it's just going to be better.
And then, of course, we have Frilled Mystic as the other 4-drop. Those are the only 2 green cards in the deck. Other than that, it's got a bunch of counter spells. We have Unsummon, a couple of other tricky flash creatures like Merfolk Trickster. And then we have some more green cards in the sideboard, but not a ton.
Definitely a nice tempo deck.
Yeah. So those are going to be the 2 decks. This is actually going to be, like Corey said, a really tough matchup. We've actually already altered his sideboard a little bit to help compensate for that, and we'll go over that when we get to sideboards. Any questions before we get started?
Not at the moment.
All right. Well, if you have anything for me or Corey, make sure to at SCG Tour in the chat. And our director Kyle is going to be picking his faves and asking them whenever we got some free time. But let's go ahead and get started. And neither of us have the marble, so I guess we got to roll dice.
I know. That's what I was saying. Is you made this matchup like this, so it was heavily favored for you, just so I couldn't get the marbles from you, right?
But I don't have the marble.
I know. It's frustrating.
So,
you threw the match against Ross just so I couldn't play for him here, huh?
There was no way I would ever throw a match against Ross. Just want to be clear on that. All right, let's do high roll.
All right, high roll. Let's do it.
6. Hard 6.
Below average. Okay. Gonna be rolling dice all day.
Yeah. 10.
Okay.
Good. I'll be on the play.
All right, you got it. Good luck, my man.
You too.
All right.
My hand is pretty mediocre, but I'm gonna keep it.
My hand is fine. I think actively pretty good here, so we're gonna keep it.
All right, island go.
All right. So we're gonna go temple. Do a little scry here. Don't really need another one of those right now, so we'll pass it to you.
All right. Okay. We'll play a Spectral Sailor during your end step.
All right.
Attack for 1. Here you go.
I will take it. 19. Oops.
You're going to see a lot of that, just quick attacks and then passes with this deck because we are playing our spells almost entirely
because you don't do anything during your turn.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to take 2 here. 17. And now I think I just need to check out what's going on in the hand first.
I'm actually going to give him a choice here, I think. I can play Trickster and have some power on the battlefield, but Mu Yanlang is pretty good. And I'm just going to play that next turn while he's tapped out, or, while there's nothing really going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't protect the Mu Yanlang. Maybe I don't give him a choice. Maybe that's the trick. All right.
That's the Trickster.
Yeah. Mu Yanling or an Unsummon.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, Unsummon is going to be very good against me because I'm reanimating giant threats that if I waste my whole time to bounce the giant red dragon back to my hand, like, it feels bad, but right now I just can't beat the Planeswalker, so I have to take that. I'm going to do a Surveil. Now, this is pretty strong right here, so we are going to keep that. And I'll pass it back to you.
I'll leave these up as long as I can.
Okay. Here, gentlemen.
Attack for 3.
Okay. I will go to 14.
Here we go.
And this damage just adds up so fast from essentially this mono blue deck.
Mm-hmm.
The tempo and the damage goes real quick. All right.
The Trickster in play is not nearly as good as it could be, though, because you do have the Tomebound Lich that can block it.
Exactly, yep. And I think that is the play I'm going to make here. I do have plenty of options, but yeah, it just seems correct right now. So we're going to loot.
Mm-hmm.
No giant dragon to discard yet, so that makes me sad. But we're just going to send a Water Grave to the yard, and we'll say go.
All right, attack for 1.
Alrighty.
Play Hinterland, here you go.
13, and this is pretty much the best situation. What's up?
I just have Unsummon.
Okay, gotcha. And this is a pretty good situation, or maybe like the best situation I could possibly be in, that I don't have a giant amount of threats coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have to expect that Todd either drew a creature to play or is just going to draw a card. So regardless, it's going to have a nice play. So I think I am going to drop Tammy for now and see if that's going to resolve.
It does.
Okay. And I just want to protect it. I'm okay giving Todd a few cards with the Sailor. Oh, yeah, thanks. I'm new.
It's okay.
I am going to name... We're going to go Bond. Bond of Revival, I believe it's called.
Oh, right on top.
Oh, my God.
And you put the dragon in the grave, too?
Welcome.
All right. Hello, and good luck.
All right. So we'll do that, and then I'll pass it to you.
Right, we'll draw a card off this. Untap. Draw for turn.
Okay. Now, I know you have the unsummon, so it's really not insane or anything right now, but...
No, it's still not that bad, though, because you can just... well, we'll see.
Yep.
Let's go 1 at Tammy.
1 at Tammy. Tammy's down to 5?
Here you go.
Okay. So I do want to stop this card draw engine eventually here. That's just what we want to do. Okay, so now we have options. We can go for the bond, but pretty unlikely that it's actually going to work, so I don't think that's going to be the play right now. We know about the unsummon, so it's for sure not going to connect, but easily could just get counterspelled. So I think I want to be a little bit safer here. Now, what do we truly want to do here? I think I want to start by firing this off. That seems kind of bad, but... All right, we're going to start by this. See what you do about that. Okay. And then we're going to get in there, loot.
Yeah, I'm at 19. You go to 14.
19 to 14. And then since we attacked, chart a course to draw some cards.
Sure.
Okay. 1, 2, and go Water Grave tapped, and we're going to tick up. And I think we just want another cast down here, another way to interact. Cast down's basically my best card against
what about Thought Erasure?
Against this flash deck. Thought Erasure is pretty good too, but I have access to it already.
You have X cast down too, though.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to do cast down again here.
Sure.
See if I can hit twice in a row. No such luck.
Okay.
Okay, pass it to you.
Sailor, and I'll draw a card.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll untap and draw.
Okay.
Let's do 3 at Tomio.
Okay, down to 3.
I will play this tap and say go.
All right. I'm going to untap here. Once again, I want to stop this card draw. So we're going to attack, loot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to discard a breeding pool here. Take 1, I'm guessing.
Yep. 18 to 15.
18 to 15, yep. Okay. And then we are going to... I want to be able to do something about these creatures. So we're going to go with the ritual set.
Field Mystica.
Pretty strong. Pretty strong. All right, now we're going to chart.
Yep.
Draw 2. Okay, now Tamio is definitely going to die here, so I probably want to just get max value here.
Mm-hmm.
And
Cash in like Cry Carnarium or something.
yeah, I think so. Cry seems like the best option. Yep, we're just going to get back a Cry.
Okay.
Okay, pass it back. Cry does work quite well in this deck because it doesn't kill our Lich, but it more than likely kills everything of yours.
Yeah.
But it's so rough to actually get the
60.
combo going against you. All right, down to 9. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like I've been really behind this whole game, but like you just can't break through the unsummon, which is like really awkward.
It's really awkward, yeah.
And unsummon is not a card that a lot of people play, but the dragon does die to like most generic spot removals, so like, you're not gonna get that off too often against like a deck with Bedevil or whatever, which is why you're playing like the discard spells and stuff. But being 1 mana, having the other counter spells is just kind of hard to get through the wall.
Definitely seems why it seems a little crazy to me that there were no Veil of Summers in this sideboard.
Right.
Because it seems very needed in these matchups.
All right, lane go.
Okay. All right. So now I have options. I have plenty of cards here. Lots of good stuff to do. I have to just keep trying to fire off mass removal here to get this board clean. Very unlikely that it's going to work repeatedly here, but what can you do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to try to Cry. I mean, even with the unsummon, you know, he's representing a counterspell for a Mystic, which is pretty busted.
I'm just going to Field Mystica.
All right. All right, well, that's uncool. We're going to go with a...
Shut down a lot of my offense.
Yeah, not bad. Loot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I actually want to get rid of this because I want to make sure to make my land drops. Yeah, so we're going to discard this, play a land, and say go. Yeah, it just seems pretty rough for me to push through all my sorcery speed stuff against a Frilled Mystic unsummoned deck.
1 each.
Okay.
Here it is.
8 to 18, yep. All right. Oh, let's see. I think we are going to definitely just have to keep trying to fire stuff off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with Bond. Targeting the dragon, of course. Pretty high chance this just connects and works. Everything's fine.
I'm going to draw a card.
Okay.
Bond resolves.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move to declare attackers.
All right, we'll bounce the dragon.
Okay. Now, I think I'm going to attack. Enters the battlefield or deals combat damage to a player. Okay, I was looting incorrectly.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I guess you were taking it every time.
Block.
Okay.
You don't have another dragon in the yard, right?
I don't. Nope,
Yeah,
nope. Okay. So
All
I
right,
gain
you
one.
You go up to 9.
I go to 9. And then I think I just have to try to fire this off now. I'm walking into Syncopate, unfortunately, but I have no choice. Okay, and then a Temple of Tilt here. I leave that on top.
I also could have syncopated your... I had 4
You had 4
up
open.
whenever you
Yep,
cast the thing.
gotcha.
All right, Mu Yanling on that thing.
Okay.
We're
Just
gonna-
shrinks the power, right?
Yeah.
'Kay.
So going to send this up to 4. We'll attack for 3. So no reason to attack with this because it'll just block.
Okay, down to 6.
Temple of Tilt.
'Kay.
Bottom, your go.
All right, on tap here. Now, I definitely want to try to pressure the Planeswalker here at least, so that if Todd wants to make a 4/4, that it'll cost you the Planeswalker, which is definitely relevant.
It is shrunk.
Oh, it shrunk during my turn as well.
Wait, until your next turn. Yeah. It's kind of like the Jace
Oh, wow.
VP plus.
Okay, well, that's great then.
I think Mu Yanling is awesome.
I do think it is quite good. Okay, we're going to see what we want to do here. Got plenty of stuff in our graveyard. We have Tameo here. Want to see what we would want to bring back, if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, you could just sweep the creatures,
I
but
could. But they're not
getting back
super
Chart of Course is
bad.
not bad either.
Exactly. You know what? We're going to start with the Tasmanian Devil.
Like it.
All right.
Resolves.
All right, we are going to, I believe I got a token
2/2.
here. Yep.
Loot.
2/2. Surprise, surprise.
Mhm.
And then we will go with a Tameo.
Sure.
Okay. And we're going to tick up and try to hit a bond here.
Yep.
Bingo. We have a bond, me and this bond. And then we're going to make a land drop and pass it back to you. All right. My only hope is that Todd is kind of out of counter spells here. I mean, I can just keep jamming stuff in, and eventually Tameo's only way to break through counter spells is to just.
I mean, next turn you
keep
can
doing
go
it.
bond minus bond, right?
I'm one short.
Sure.
Yep. But if I get a land,
you can
yep.
find a land pretty easy. Probably.
Exactly.
But
But unfortunately, even an unsummoned breaks up bond because you can do it in combat.
sure. All right, we'll just plus again on this thing.
I think you might have to pay. Nope.
No, it's not
Just
abilities.
spells.
All right, your go.
Okay. All right, that's probably quite the good draw. We'll go with the Thought Erasure. You.
I'll cast a Brand one, cut through.
Okay.
And I'll show you the four.
All righty,
getting
we're
clapped.
cooking now. We
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
do stuff. Dun 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 dun. Dragons. Okay.
I'm dead.
You-
Feel free to attack and choose your target. So you
I'm
do
going to attack.
4 here, 3 here, 3 here.
I can do 4 damage to any target and 3 damage up to 2 other targets.
Yeah.
So
it's
can
insane.
Can I just do 10 to you?
No.
No, okay.
They have to be different targets.
So I can do 14 to
other
you.
targets.
Other targets.
No, you can do
okay.
11 to me, and then let me just double check.
Yeah, let's double check
It says deals 4 damage to any target and 3 damage up to 2 other targets. So
okay.
You can do 4, 3, 3, and 7. So you do 4, 3, 3, plus 7, so I take 11.
I'm gonna do 4.
Okay.
3, 3.
Okay.
And we might as well get this in there too.
Block.
All right. Would you like to take 7?
Yeah.
All right.
11.
Okay, I am going to... not even going to activate this because I know what it is. We'll tick up for... You know what? We got it once, and we got it twice. Maybe we'll get another bond. I surveilled.
Are your cards... Oh, you surveilled.
I surveilled,
I was like, do you have marked cards? What the hell?
Yeah, no, I surveilled. I was trolling. Okay, your turn.
Draw. All right, I got to land.
All right.
GG's.
GG's.
All right, we're going to do one more pre-board game here, and then we'll go sideboard. So mostly when we're doing new set stuff, we like to do 2 pre-board, 1 post instead of vice versa.
Yeah, kind of get a feel for the matchup.
Yeah, get a feel for the decks. If it's really one-sided, like we played 2 games beforehand, and it felt a little one-sided one way, but you broke me pretty bad.
I was hustling. Yeah, I was waiting for the on-camera match to truly get it going.
All right. Anything for us over there, Kyle, from chat?
The only question that came up so far was from AVEPR.
All right.
And they were just wondering if there were other bombs you were considering for the Reanimator deck.
Other bombs for it? You know, I mean, I've seen decks that play like Zatelpa, the 4/8... indestructible. Yeah. I've considered
double strike,
that.
indestructible, flying, trample, vigilant. Well, has it got literally every
text.
Every text in the book.
But other than that, I mean, I just think the dragon is just insane. It's just absurd. I mean, you get to deal so much damage spread across. It deals 17 damage when you cast it. So I don't think there's a better thing you can be doing. Now, if we do see a lot of like unsummon and stuff like that popping up, I think there is a good reason to diversify in your threats like that.
Yeah, maybe find a good hexproof creature. Or something
exactly.
Like that.
But if you're just having a game 1 configuration, you want to put your best foot forward, and I don't think there's a better thing you can be doing than casting this giant dragon. But it's definitely something to think about.
6, 7.
Right.
This hand is a little mana heavy, but I think it's good enough to keep, so we are going to keep.
All right.
If you have any questions, make sure to get them at tag at SCG Tour in the chat. Anything and everything is up for grabs today. Talk about Bridge from Below Ban if you want. Talk about New Standard if you want.
Yeah.
How's yours?
We can talk about our day if you really want.
Yeah, we had Waffle House.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah,
it was delicious. I went into Todd's World, which is Waffle House. So
I mean, I live there basically.
So I'm keeping this. I do have a little problems. We are a little mana light, but with Thought Erasure on 2, we can usually manipulate a little bit, and I think
being on the draw too. Yeah.
And on the draw, exactly. All right. So we're gonna go Breeding Pool tapped. Your turn.
All right, here we go.
All right. All right, so that was a pretty good draw. We're going to fire off Thought Erasure, even though it could get syncopated here.
Nah, I'm probably taking this, but I keep getting this hit with Thought Erasure. It makes me sad, because I think it's really good.
I do enjoy hitting your best Planeswalker with Thought Erasure. It makes me quite happy.
I assume you're taking it.
I'm going to take that.
Okay.
Yep. Okay.
I was making sure.
And we're going to scry this, and we're going to keep it because it's perfect. Not perfect. We do need a little help from our mana base, but okay. 18.
Here we go.
All right. So we have actually another nice follow-up here. We're going to go with Lich.
Yeah.
All right. Trigger. Draw. Okay. Now our hand is pretty redundant and not very good right now, but this we can't even cast right now. So I think we'll discard Ritual Set. Your turn.
All right. We're going to tap the Lich, put a counter on the Brineborn Cutler.
Okay. It's a tongue twister.
Scry.
Yep.
Bottom of land, attack for 5.
Okay. I will take it down to 13.
Your turn.
All right. Well, we're hoping Todd didn't draw any spicy counter spell here, and we can get this beautiful Planeswalker to resolve.
Sure.
Yay! Okay, so we are going to tick up. What do we need here? Should I just name the dragon here?
Yeah. Exactly where I want it.
Yeah.
Right in my hand.
I am going to name Cast Down.
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
Should have named Bond.
I
man.
know.
You have the Bond. What are you doing?
What am I thinking? Okay, I'm gonna pass.
All right. So I can bounce the Tomebound Lich, but I actually think that it's worse in hand than in play for me. So we're gonna bounce Trickster, recast Trickster, tap this, and get 2 counters on this.
I like that play a lot better.
Okay.
I like that play a lot.
Play lands. Let's just kill Tamio.
Okay.
We have to send all 7, unfortunately.
Tamio's dead.
Here we go.
All right, so we're gonna untap. Now that we don't have a Planeswalker to protect, we can get busy a little bit more, especially since our hand is not good. Attack.
This is a weird play, but I'm gonna play a Spectral Sailor.
Okay.
And I'm gonna draw a card.
Okay.
Now I did that because I might want to actually just chump block here to keep him from looting.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think so. So I'll just take it. Sorry.
Okay. We're gonna draw.
He has like more information now, but
we really could have punished Todd with the correct draw, but unfortunately, we didn't get there.
I just need black mana for Soot.
Yeah. Black mana would have been a blowout. Now we're faced with a tough decision here.
Kill the big thing or kill the sailor.
Exactly. Kill the big thing or kill the sailor. And I mean, 6, 7, 8 damage, putting me to 5. I just think it's too much.
Yeah.
I think we have to cast down that while we can.
I agree.
Okay, your turn.
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't get punished.
I think we might be a black mana or 2 short in this deck.
3. You're at 11.
Yep. Or I'm at 10.
Maybe. No, you gained 1 from the Lich.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
So you're at 11. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card. I'll say go.
All right. That was not an ideal draw since we can't really maximize it right now. So we're gonna attack.
Now, I drew Trickster, and I don't want to give it away, but it's important to talk about because this is going to be a pretty big turn. Because if I tap the Lich and he goes like land Soot, we're going to lose our entire side of the board. But if I let him loot, he doesn't have a dragon in the graveyard yet, and he gets to dig for the Black Source. So I'm just going to go ahead and tap it.
Okay, smart. I like it. And we drew Thought Erasure, so not great, but yeah, we still have to fire it off because we have nothing else we can cast. Graveyard that and pass it back to you.
All right.
We're in a lot of trouble.
5, you put you to 6.
6.
Your turn.
All right. Another rough draw. We're going to go to attack.
Thinking.
Okay.
So one of the cool things about this deck, you never really have to make a decision on your own turn. You just play your land and tax it.
Yeah. Well, being able to react in Magic is just so notoriously better than having to be proactive, you know? Yeah. That's why, like, Esper Control was so good in our last format. It got to just react to everything.
Yeah, it's going to hit me. You go to 7. I go to 18.
7 to 18.
You get a loot.
Draw. All right, so we got the money.
Okay, so you're going to go to 5.
And I'm just dead if it's a counter spell, but there's nothing I can really do here. The upside's too high. The upside's too high, and I'm going to lose the game anyways if I put it into play tapped. If I give Todd the chance to draw 3 more cards off the Sailor. That's
actually, I mean, so if I draw 1 card and I find a counterspell, he's dead.
Yep.
If I let it resolve, I got a Night Ambusher. So I have a choice on drawing a card, trying to find a counterspell. The problem is, like, if I find a counterspell, game's over.
Yep.
Right? You're at 5. I got 5 power. And the 4/4 Ambusher doesn't quite kill you next turn. But you only have 2 cards in hand, and you need basically like a combo Chart a Course into Bonds. You got 2 Bonds in the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can use my 3/3 Wolf to just block the Lich. So I'm just going to let this resolve.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
And these all get exiled. And I'll play the Ambusher.
Okay.
Untap. Draw.
Yeah.
Land for turn. Attack for 4.
And you also had the out of drawing another one to just win.
That's true, too.
Yep.
Cool deal.
So 1 to 18.
And I'll end a turn make a Wolf, and it's a 3/3.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. So I'll bond.
I'll counter it.
I drew it for the turn.
Yeah, I drew the Field Missive for the turn.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can attack, but you would block. I have the Ritual Soot, so yeah. A little late on that. And my draws were a little awkward. If I had a Swamp early, when I could have Ritual Sooted you the turn when you flashed in the Sailor, I think I would have had a chance.
That was probably a mistake on my part. Just like
I think so.
There's, the world in which I block is almost negligible or 0% because I drew a land off of it anyway, which is like the scenario where I want to block and I still didn't want to block. Therefore, I should just wait.
Yeah, I don't think there's a scenario where you block, to be honest.
Okay.
I mean, the loot is important, but it's not always guaranteed that I have the pieces. Like, I could just be looting just to discard a land, and it's barely anything. So the loot isn't as important, except usually like the first turn. And that's the nice thing about the Lich is it triggers when it comes into play. So more than likely, if I have the combo pieces, I'm going to discard it immediately.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short 3-minute break here while Corey and I get our sideboards prepared for you. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back for more Versus Live. All right, we're back here for sideboarding, and Corey and I are still kind of figuring things out with these new decks. It's occasionally hard. From my side, I think I want to bring in the Spell Pierces. Corey has like a really specifically spell-heavy deck. I just got to figure out what to take out. Now, Essence Scatter seems like a pretty obvious one. I'm going to cut 2 of those for sure. And then I think I'm just going to cut 1 Merfolk Trickster because it gets brickwalled pretty hardcore by your 1/3 Lich.
That's fair. That's fair. And I want to be taking out Ritual Soots, Enter the God Eternal, and Casmenia. It is just, I have to anticipate the blue deck is going to bring in Spell Pierce. Having these expensive sorceries aren't great. Now you're going to think like Ritual Soot should definitely stay in because it kills most of your creatures outside of your Wolf Lord there. But Cry the Carnarium actually does the same thing. And 3 mana versus 4 mana I think is a very important difference here. And then I basically... I didn't know what else to take out. Growth Spiral is pretty bad. I just usually don't have time to just be ramping now.
It also only has a lot of value, in my opinion, when you're playing it primarily at instant speed. Like, you're using it a lot like an Explorer and not like a Growth Spiral. And, like, your deck is functioning almost entirely at sorcery speed.
Yep. And the only thing it's really nice about is Growth Spiraling into a turn 3 Tameo. Yep. But I think that is a lot better on the play. And I kind of want to be the control deck where I'm answering your threats on a 1-for-1 basis. Every turn, starting on turn 2 with cast down and stuff, instead of just wasting my time Growth Spiraling. So we're going to give that a shot.
All right. What you got for me, Kyle?
I had some people asking about Waffle House, so let's see.
The hard-hitting issues,
So, first off, what did each of you have for lunch today from Waffle House?
Bacon, egg, and cheese Texas melt. I actually had a side of sliced tomatoes instead of hash browns.
Living your best life.
That's that southern side.
Yeah, I'm learning.
Sliced tomatoes. You don't see that very often.
I'm a fan. I had a nice little hash brown, egg, cheese, and bacon bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Started off right. Yep. And my fiance copied you and had a melt as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Corey, you're a Midwest guy, right?
Midwest, yep. Mm-hmm.
What would you suggest to those who don't have Waffle House near them?
As a Midwest type of food?
Midwest restaurant.
Go to the damn grocery store and buy some eggs.
Yeah, pretty much. Go get some Nifla soup, because Nifla soup is not a thing around here. That's a very Midwest thing.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. It's basically dumpling soup. It's just they call it Nifla for some reason. Yeah.
Nifla?
Nifla, yep.
How do you spell that?
K-N-O Fla. I don't know. From there on.
All right.
All right. So I'm on the play?
Sure.
All right.
I drew a bunch of bad cards, so we'll see how this goes.
Excellent.
I spilled some water on the playmat, so...
Oh, good one.
Yeah.
Is that a game loss here?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Well, it's
so I take series 1.
warp the cards. Good thing they can't fire me. I'm already quitting.
Don't leave.
No.
I mean, I'll keep.
Same.
All right. We're going to start with a breeding pool. This hand's actually quite good. And we'll pass it back to you. Now, this hand is doing exactly, if we can take a peek at the hand, this hand's doing exactly what I want to be doing. Instead of trying to waste my time spiraling or anything, I just want to be casting relevant spells on each turn.
Yep. I'm at 18.
Okay. 18. Ooh, got to be a Spell Pierce, I suppose. Could be the Flash Pirate as well. So we're going to fire off the Thought Erasure.
Pierce it.
Okay. Your turn.
Island go.
All right. Pretty horrendous draws here. Your turn.
Let's go ahead and get some pressure on the battlefield with this Trickster.
Okay.
You want to kill it?
No.
Draw. Attack.
Sure.
I'm going to go ahead and play this Mu Yanling. Get a little more pressure going.
Get a little frisky.
Your turn.
Card's good. All right. Now, is there anything I want to be doing? Probably. I better fire that off now. All right, we're going to untap. We really want a land. Oh, my God.
Simple tilt?
No, much worse than a tilt. These have been my last 3
Please tell
draws.
me it's 3 dragons.
When we just needed a land.
That is my exact sequence whenever I play Gristlebrands and Legacy. Just like, God, I just need a show and tell or sneak attack. Oh, Emrakul.
Giant thing. Yeah, you can't cast.
Gristlebrand.
I mean, that's the problem with these kind of decks, though, right? Like, it's a combo deck where if you draw 1/2 of each of the combo pieces, they do absolutely nothing, you know?
Yeah, we don't have a land drop, so we're just going to make a Boyd.
That's bad for me.
Could be good for you.
Yo.
Keep draw.
Top of our deck has not been nice to us. But to be fair, yeah, I'll take it. To be fair, that Spell Pierce really, really hurt us because we would have been able to put a dragon in, surveil a dragon in there. That would have been insane, you know? So the Spell Pierce really got us.
I mean, you got like bonds over dragons over there?
Full house, baby.
So game 4? Or?
Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
We'll go to game 4.
I cannot possibly.
My hand's actually just nuts too. I got these 2, and I'm gonna ambush her if you just do nothing, and I can make another burn.
My hand was this, and then my next 5 draws were these.
Dude, I'm sorry. That is awkward. But we'll try to get just more actual magic for y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and play another game.
Yep.
We're not actually playing for marbles, so if we tie, it's fine.
That's fine.
We just want to play more actual games of Magic.
I'm down. A gentleman's agreement here.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that was a little unfortunate, but, you know, it's kind of the way the deck works. And I think this deck is definitely going to shine a lot more against non-counterspell decks.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
it's going to be insane there.
Your best matchup is probably something like a Wild Growth Walker deck or whatever.
Yeah.
Where you just get to, okay, turn 5, reanimate dragon. We're going to kill that planeswalker, kill these 2 creatures, and hit you for 7.
Yeah.
And then if they don't have the removal for it, they're just dead next turn.
Yeah, it seems like Command the Dreadhorde, Sultai decks, and like vampires would be very good matchups. You know, you just kill everything with vampires. And the only relevant removal spell from vampires, at least in most main decks, is Cast Down.
Yeah, or Othakaya.
Yeah, or Othakaya. I mean, you get D-Sparks post-board, and, like,
that's about it. No, they don't really play that much else.
Personally, I played Ixalan's Binding when I play it, but even that doesn't really do anything. You bond it back, you know? So, okay. So I'll go first this time. Is it still loser, right? Loser that goes first? Okay.
It's just like normal Magic.
All right. Okay, I'm going to keep this.
I'm going to keep, but I need some help.
All right, so we are going to take 2 and duress here to make sure this resolves.
These 2, and I got some creatures and 2 Hinterland Harbors.
Ooh, okay. Well, I really need my Chart the Course to resolve, so I have to take that Spell Pierce there.
Yeah. I will try to leave these face up for you, just like on Arena.
You are a gentleman and a scholar. Okay.
So you may be asking yourself, hey, Todd, why didn't you play the card in your hand? Right? It's because if I draw an island, then I can cast Merfolk Trickster if I want to. But there's no real difference. Like if I play Forest here on turn 2, or on turn 1, you know, I don't have access to double blue, and I can just play Forest as my second land anyway if I want. There's very, very little, and it's not like I bluff anything.
Well, and you give me information.
Right.
Yeah. To be fair, you just gave me the information anyway.
Right, but in a tournament, you know, you want to try to limit that kind of information leak as much as possible.
Definitely. And the likelihood that you want to play Trickster over your thing is pretty low anyways, so you would say maybe I play the Forest anyways, but there's no point in giving information in that spot.
But if, let's say my draws were exactly Spell Pierce Island, now I can go Spectral Sailor Spell Pierce.
Yep.
Whereas if I played Forest, I couldn't do that.
Exactly. Okay, so I am going to...
Well, I guess I drew the Forest, so there's no way that's the case anyway, but whatever.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're throwing down. I'm going to go with the Charter Course.
That's fine.
Draw 2. Discard. So our hand is shaping up pretty decently, actually.
Hand is pretty decent.
Pretty decent,
Pretty decent hand.
All right, we're going to get rid of Dee's Tomb. Okay.
All right, end of turn Cutthroat.
You got it.
Draw. And now I can make my Cutthroat bigger next turn and just play like a couple of creatures. Or I can just go ahead and get the Moo Yanling down. I'm going to go ahead and get the Moo Yanling down. Attack for 2.
You're just playing Cutthroat around here, aren't you?
All right, you're at 18.
I'm at 16.
16 from the shot. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm at 20 still. You're good.
Okay. So I'm going to untap. Ooh, that was a great draw. Great draw on my part.
Good, great job. Yeah. Pat him on the back.
Was that Old Town Road you were about to sing? Okay.
I mean, about to sing. I was literally singing.
Okay, well. All right, so I am going to tick up for... We're going to go for Bond of Revival.
Yeah.
Can we hit again? No such luck. Yeah. Okay, and we'll say...
Now, you're finally getting my luck with Tamio, which is hitting once every 6 times instead of hitting every single time.
Yeah, that was insane.
All right, we're going to make a bird.
Got it.
Attack Tamio for 2.
Okay, it's down to 4.
Play my forest that I've had since turn 1.
Okay.
Year ago.
All right.
We're going to try to keep the Merfolk Trickster for as long as possible to shut down the dragon for a turn if we need it to.
That's smart. That is smart. All right, so we are going to... We're going to start with a Thought Erasure, targeting you.
Oof. Okay.
Okay. Think we're going to take the Trickster. I'm going to surveil. Let's see here. Let's... Sorry, tanking hard here.
No, you're good, man. It's a tough turn, I'm sure.
This is a tough one. I think we are going to bin this. Now, I am going to... I got some decent plays here. I really want to try to clear the way if I were to get Bond of Revival. So I'm going to return this and... No. I'm going to get Duress. And then I'm going to Duress you.
I'm going to play Spectral Sailor.
Okay.
Going to unsummon the Spectral Sailor.
Sure.
And then play Spectral Sailor.
Okay. That worked. We'll get that. And then I'm going to take 2.
14.
14 and pass it to you.
That's unfortunate. Draw. We need a big one. Let's go 1 at Tamio and 9 at you.
9 at me, huh? Okay. Sure.
Okay, you're at 5.
Yep.
Take this up to 3. Play my land. I'm going to try to draw an unsummon off of the Spectral Sailor. Here we go.
And I'm going to go end step Growth Spiral.
Sure.
So I set it up perfectly in case he does draw.
No!
Set it up perfectly.
Oh, no.
We'll do this.
All right, let's draw a card.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna choose this dragon.
Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna go 4, 3, 3.
This has 4 toughness.
Oh, okay.
You might want to slow your roll there, Chief. This guy's big.
To 3 other target. Can I go 4, 3, 3? Probably not, huh?
I don't think so. Because it says 4 and then 3 damage to 2 other targets. So it specifies you can't do 7 to 1 target, I'm pretty sure.
Well, all right. Well, I'll do 4, 3, 3.
That's really unfortunate for you because we're going to put a counter on this guy.
No! We're dead! That's brutal. Nothing I can do.
You can draw a card.
I can. That was impressive. I had to get the 1 drop.
Oh, man.
Oh, I crafted that so beautifully, too.
You did. Dude, that was pretty good. That was hilarious.
That was nice. That was a good game. I was running at like maximum efficiency from this deck in this matchup, but it wasn't quite enough. The tempo just got me.
All right, let's do a quick rundown of the matchup. I think that's sufficient enough, and we'll
I think so, yeah.
Get some question-ins for asking, but we're going to talk about the decks a little bit and kind of figure out what we learned. Yep. From my side of things, I feel like the deck needs a little bit of card draw.
Yeah.
I feel like in game 1 you hit me with like a couple thought of rage, a couple spot removal spells. I kind of flooded out, didn't have a lot to do, but I didn't draw any of my big payoffs. Like I didn't draw any of the Frilled Mystics or the Nivell Ambusher. I want to say Night Pack Ambushers.
Sure, yep.
And so I didn't have a whole lot to do with extra mana other than Spectral Sailor. And Sailor was great.
Yeah, Sailor's
at basically
insane.
all times because I can hold up the counter spells and whatnot. If you don't do anything, I can really punish you. So, but I felt like I was kind of running on empty, and I wanted like some sort of instant speed, like, if I had like a draw 3, discard 1, or a draw 2 instant speed, anything like that would have maybe been useful.
Yep.
But I don't really know if there is something like that. Maybe just Opt. This deck doesn't have Opt in it, I don't think.
That is pretty weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't have Opt in it. I just now noticed this. Opt seems really good with Brineborn Cutthroat and just kind of smoothing your draws. So Opt seems like a no-brainer. That's step one. I didn't even realize I wasn't in the deck. We just copy pasted straight 75s from
5.0 decks.
5.0 decks, arena deck list.
This was Jim Davis's deck he was streaming with. I thought it was really cool. I think there was a couple problems when it comes to this. I don't think Growth Spile was very good in this deck. I would think like Paradise Druid would be better.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
And then you can attack and chart the course with that too. Plus it's still doing the same thing, can't be killed. I think that would be better. I think I wanted a couple more black sources as well. It seemed like I was really flooding on green and blue, but I was struggling to get the double
blacks for the rituals.
Exactly.
Sure.
And we added the Night Veil or
Veil Summer.
Yep. Those seem insane for the matchup. And it did feel like it was getting a little better post board, but I did think that I either need a little bit more spot removal. I think you should just max out on Cast Down. I think Cast Down is busted.
Yeah, Cast Down, I mean, we've seen it for about a year now at least, where the old Golgari decks that were really heavy on creatures in game one, sometimes would just sideboard four copies of Cast Down, right? And that would help against decks like Mono Blue, Mono Red, Mono White, all those decks.
Is it Phoenixes? It was insane against them.
Busting up the Crackling Drakes because the Crackling Drakes were like your main
they were playing
problem.
like 8 Drakes at the time that you're talking about, where it was just Golgari.
Also kills Electromancer. So I mean, I think that just having access to most black decks, if you're like a combo deck or like a really kind of clunky slow deck at some points, just having that ability to side into a more efficient kind of control package with Forecast on just seems reasonable.
And you know what I think would actually be pretty insane with this? Just the Explore package. I mean, you can explore the dragon into that, and then you could even like go command the Dreadhorde for dragon stuff. Maybe not as good. Probably still want just Bond and Dragon, but probably lower numbers of each because you'd explore and see so many cards. Tameo still gets you there, and I like these kind of decks when you can play 2 kinds of games.
Yes.
Because if you're a one-dimensional kind of thing, you can sideboard and absolutely exploit these decks very easily. Yeah. But if you just have these Explorer creatures that are going to beat you down, gain life, it'd be a lot harder for you.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why the Command the Dreadhorde decks, the 4-color ones with Wild Growth Walker and stuff, are so powerful. Because like game one, they're a Wild Growth Walker deck against the aggro decks. They're a Planeswalker deck against control decks, and they're a Command the Dreadhorde deck against the mid-range decks. And at any point in the game, if you don't deal with one part of it, that part is going to end up beating you because the Wild Growth Walker package is really powerful, really aggressive start sometimes. The Planeswalkers are just so potent and putting pressure on the opponent and forcing them into these weird lines and having to spend a lot of time to 2-for-1 themselves and things like that. And then if you just like spend all your time killing creatures, killing Planeswalkers, then it's just like, just command the Dreadhorde.
Exactly.
Cost me 0 life. Get back 10 permanents.
That was always my favorite thing to do with those decks is just really put them to the pressure, and then once you have enough pressure where they have to answer the stuff on the board, and you're just like, boom, dead.
I mean, and I think that might be one of the problems with your deck is that it's a little too one-dimensional.
It is.
And obviously, the was it Bond of
Revival.
Bond of Revival, when combined with that 7-mana dragon is just so nuts against creature-based decks. But even if it, like, let's say you're playing against Esper Control. Like, if it works, you're getting back a dragon, you're hitting your opponent for 7, and you're usually killing 2 Planeswalkers. Maybe you're killing 1 Planeswalker, shooting them for 4, or something like that. That's still pretty good, and for turn 5. But you start to look at cards like Chart of Course and Tomebound Lich, and then you're like, oh, wow, neither of those cards work against Tameo. They're literally just discard a card. And maybe that's good enough, but you need those loot effects to kind of dig for the combo pieces in a lot of scenarios. And with the probably the best deck in the format pre-new set being Esper Control with 4 copies of Narset, I don't know if that deck necessarily has the capability of fighting off just a 3-man Narset.
No, it doesn't. I mean, straight up, what are you going to do to it?
As far
Maybe
as
some Assassin's trophies might be.
Assassin's Trophy,
yeah.
but like giving the Esper deck lands is like super dangerous.
It's super
and,
bad, yeah.
And they're just gonna like minus and probably find Thought Erasure or something like that after sideboard. They're gonna have Dovin's Vetoes.
Yeah.
Like,
and Assassin's Trophy in Narset is not good. They're already getting a card out of it, plus they're getting another card. You're 2-for-1ing yourself every time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I've seen it. So as far as the Simic decks, we'll just close up with this, and then we'll take some questions and stuff before we move on. I've seen a couple iterations of this already on Magic Arena, but I don't have specific deck lists except for this one. But I've seen people play less of the Merfolk Trickster and move a little more towards Growth Spiral.
Okay.
And then they play almost 100% on your opponent's turn. They don't play Mu Yanlang. They just play Ambusher, Frilled Mystic, Growth Spiral, Sailor, Brineborn Cutthroat, and then counter spells.
Growth Spiral seems bad to me in that deck.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of lands, but it does allow you to ramp to your 4-drop on turn 3, and those 4-drops are so good, and they close the door on your opponent so quickly that it might be worth considering. And I agree though. I play a lot of Growth Spiral decks, and when you're not playing 26 lands, like a lot of times you just don't have the land to hit on turn 2.
Yeah,
and that's just such a detriment to the deck.
Agreed. Agreed.
All right, what you got for me? Anything? If you say nothing, I'm going to be real mad.
I've had several people comment about Simic Flash.
Okay. Yep.
How do you beat Baby Teferi?
You just attack it. I mean, they're gonna like minus it pretty regularly, and like in response to them casting it, you can usually play a second creature. Like if you turn 1 Sailor, turn 2 Brineborn Cutthroat or whatever, like you just get to have 2 creatures on the battlefield, and if they minus, you kill it. If they plus, it doesn't get nearly as big of an effect. Obviously, it's really potent if they stick it and tick up, and you can't kill it right away. Your deck just stops working. But I mean, you have a lot of counter spells, especially on the play, that can deal with it. It's one of the reasons why you're playing so many Syncopates. And something like Essence Scatter might not be worthwhile, and you might just want to max out on Syncopate, play like 2 Spell Pierces in the main deck, something like that. But
I think Spell Pierce is still great.
Yeah, Spell Pierce is good. And we have the 3 in the sideboard, none in the main deck. And of course, this is just the inaugural build of the deck. This is the alpha, not even the beta test of it. And we're gonna learn things along the way while playing it. My version already has swapped 2 more Temple for 2 Forests, because the deck is literally mono blue except for those cards. And the deck plays like 6 Forests, but if you just go down to 4 Forests and play 4 Temples, like you smooth out your draws a little bit. You have a little bit of awkwardness with Hinterland Harbor.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why there's only 2 Temples. But I think the Scry mitigates that.
I think so too. And that deck has a lot of 2-drops. So I think popular lines, even if you draw a Temple of Tilt, as I like to call them, because anytime I want to cast a 4-drop, the Temple's there.
Yeah, of course.
But you can play a 2-drop, and then on turn 3, you go 2-drop again with a Temple. That's completely fine in a deck that has a lot of 2s. But I want to make one point about the Teferi as well. Like, Flash creatures against Teferi, it does shut down the actual flash effect, but like you said, just playing the creatures and pressuring it, unless you go like Teferi, tick up, and they have like 3 power to attack it, and then the next turn you have a Kaya's Wrath, Teferi is not that threatening about it, and I would even consider maybe siding out a few against the Flash deck. I actually think it's a little rough.
Sure. I mean, that is one of the advantages to playing the version that has Trickster and Brineborn Cutthroat, is that you do have 12 creatures to play on the first 2 turns, where you can keep that pressure on Teferi and make it so it's
more importantly, Narset.
Yes,
because Narset ticking down on the first turn, even if you hit it with one of those 2 2s, that's enough. It shut it down, Yeah. So,
all right. Anything else?
Just to go with the to try to give you one as well, Corey, because we had a couple earlier talking about the Reanimator deck. How do you feel about doing a shell more along the lines with Blood for Bones and things like Stitcher Supplier to fill your graveyard, rather than doing Bond of Revival? Is that something that you've considered, I guess?
I haven't considered it, just because this is kind of the original version as well. But Blood for Bones is insane. I mean,
that card's really good.
Working with a little bit more come into play abilities.
So it doesn't target. So you can sacrifice a Ravenous Chupacabra and bring back the Ravenous Chupacabra.
Yep, exactly.
So like immediately get that value and get something back.
Exactly. So I mean, something like that. So the problem with that card is you need to play a lot more creatures, so Stitcher Supplier and stuff like that. But in the version that I was kind of talking about earlier with the Wild Growth package, that seems insane. Yeah. Sacrificing a Merfolk Branchwalker to get back a giant dragon plus another Explorer creature to gain more life,
I will say this.
That seems nice.
The dragon needs haste in order to get max value. Yeah. Otherwise, you give them that turn to cast the Kai's Wrath, to cast the whatever. So I would look, if you're going to do it, that's great. I think Blood for Bones is an awesome card, but I think you just need to have a different creature on the top end, something that's either indestructible, something that has hexproof, or something that has an immediate enter the battlefield effect.
I smell Cavaliers.
Cavaliers are tight with them. Yeah, I'll say that.
You can think about the green and the black ones. The black one post board destroying other creatures.
The green one does exile itself whenever it dies, so you can't get it back specifically if you want to use the ability.
But with Stitcher Supplier and more Explorer stuff. Yeah, so the thing I liked about a version that you were kind of specifying about, whoever asked the question, is you're able to refill your graveyard so much, and with Tamiyo, you're able to get back Blood for Bones regularity. Like, that's what made the Sultai Dreadhorde decks the best, because even if you dealt with it, once it gets going, you have that, you're Dreadhording every turn, and in that kind of version, you could just be Blood for Boning every single turn, thanks to Tamiyo and stuff like that. Yeah. So I do think that type of version seems better. Stitcher Supplier seems a little underwhelming for me. I think I would rather do Explorer packages, and maybe the Lich still, but maybe the Lich wouldn't have a home in there.
Tuesday, Ross played a version of Blood for Bones, and he was playing Glowspore Shaman and a Stitcher Supplier, and it reminded me of the Golgari decks we built last October, where we tried to go super hard on the graveyard theme, and then at some point everyone just realized, well, Explorer package is better.
Yeah.
Does almost the same thing, but also gives you Wild Growth Walker and lets you hit your land drops.
Yeah.
And Stitcher Supplier and Glowspore Shaman are just mediocre.
And not even that. It does those, but it also allows you to put the bombs into the graveyard, which is relevant, and some of the unsung facts of exploring, leaving something on top so you know the card name, tick up Tamiyo, get the free value. That's like my favorite thing to do with the Explorer package in Tamiyo. It's just so much free value.
Yeah. I also think
or you just hit every time, you know?
Yeah, you just hit. I think the Sultai decks actually benefit the most from having the temples also, because they rarely want one-drop effects other than Llanowar Elves, and they have so many two-drops. And I could definitely see an iteration of Blood for Bones that just doesn't play a one-drop creature, plays like 4 to 8 temples, and kind of has like a slower game plan that just makes sure that you are more consistent with your turn 4 good Blood for Bones. You turn 2 Explore creature, turn 3 either Explore creature, or maybe you can still play Tomebound Lich.
Yeah.
And then turn 4 Blood for Bones, get back a thing, and loot again with the Bloodbound, or return something back to your hand.
And something that screams like a perfect card for a Blood for Bones deck would be Paradise Druid, because they can't kill it, and you would automatically have a creature to sacrifice. Plus, you could still make the turn 3 Tamiyos pretty consistently. I think Paradise Druid, the Wild Growth package, and then cast down Tamiyo, kind of the Explore package, and then just reiterate instead of the Command the Dreadhorde and Planeswalkers, just Blood for Bones, big dragons, stuff like that. Yeah. But you said it correctly. Losing that haste is really big. So I think I probably would still stick with Bond of Revival as my first thing to try, but easily could be a nice little addition with Blood for Bones.
I do like the idea of playing the Cavaliers because they're just naturally strong cards to cast on curve.
Yeah.
And pairing those with Blood for Bones gives you that really potent reusable effect for the most part. So
and the only problem with the dragon, and this is what I usually don't like doing about Standard, is having cards in my deck that I can never cast.
Yeah.
I don't like doing that.
I almost made a joke. I was like, do you want to, are you sure you don't want to play 3 mountains in your deck? So you can actually
just
cast
search them up. Yeah. Well, our game 3 or whatever would have went a little better if I had that chance. 3 dragons in a row.
Oh, man, that was rough. Alrighty, well, we are going to take a short commercial break here while Corey and I prepare the next 2 decks for the matchup. But make sure if you have any more questions for us, get them in at SCG Tour in the chat. Kyle's going to be picking his favorites. When we are coming back, we're going to be playing a Boros Angels deck featuring about 8 or 12 new cards. A lot of stuff that looks really cool, a lot of new synergies. And then you're going to be playing Azorius Skies.
Yeah, Azorius Skies. We're trying to see how powerful the spirits are, as well as, playing
Empyrean Eagle.
Exactly. Empyrean Eagle is going to be good, and still just testing out how great Teferi Time Reveler is.
Yeah.
I believe it's still good.
It's probably fine. All right, well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for more Versus Live.